Welcome to episode number 8 of this MLB The Show 20 Play Now series. And today, here in this Play Now game, it will be obviously two teams. And those two teams are on the screen right now, as it's the Minnesota Twins, a Major League Baseball team, versus one of the three Legends teams here in this game. And now the one Legends team I decided to play as, or the one Legends team I decided the Twins to play against, is the mid-century Groundbreakers. There's the Groundbreakers, and you have the expansion-era Boomers and the Lawn Ball Beast. But between the Groundbreakers, Beast, and Boomers, I decided to play with the Groundbreakers because they have Babe Ruth. There will be a DH because the Twins are an AL team, and the Groundbreakers are technically a Legends team, but really an NL team. Because if you had two Legends teams play each other, the pitchers would bat. But because the Twins are the home team, there'll be a DH. I'm probably going to put Babe Ruth as a DH because I would have him pitch, but also I want him to have it. I want to also have him hit, and you can't do both when there's a DH. So yeah, I'm going to have the Twins wear their blue uniforms, alternate 3, and then road uniforms for the Groundbreakers. I have no choice on that. We're not playing at Target Field. We're going to play at, as it's either going to be this stadium, the Polo Grounds, or the old Twins home, the Twins home before Target Field. Between those two, I've already made up my mind, but my decision was between this one, the Metrodome, and the Polo Grounds, and I decided to go with the Metrodome because the Twins played there from 1982 to 2009. So we're going to play at the Metrodome. Quick counts on, do time of year August, time of day 7 p.m. Doesn't really matter when we're in a dome. But yeah, I mean, Babe Ruth, Walter Johnson, Cy Young, Bob Gibson, Bob Feller, Robin Roberts, all 99s, Lefty Grove, Christy Matheson 99, and then Wally Finders is a 98, and he's their closer. I'm going to have, who should I have? It's not really Babe Ruth because I'm going to have him as DH, because I'd rather have him hit than pitch if I had to only pick one. Why not? Let's do Cy Young, which that's where the Cy Young trophy came from Cy Young. And then we're going to have, that's a 99, we're going to have Kenta Maeda, a 91 pitch for Minnesota. I mean, it's almost an all 99. I mean, the only two people that aren't 99 are Ernie Baines and Al Kaline. The DH is Willie Mays, but I'm going to switch that to Babe Ruth. I decided to go down here. It's Herman Killebrew, Twins, as you can see him in the top left. First baseman, and then I don't know if there's any more Twins players. There's Babe Ruth. Yeah, he's going to be, why not, batted third. You have Jackie Robinson, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Lou Gehrig, Ernie Baines, Al Kaline, Johnny Bench, and Eddie Matthews. And then you have the Twins. Their highest overall player is Byron Buxton at 91 overall. But we'll see how it goes. Groundbreakers, Twins at the Metrodome. Let's go. Cy Young was 511 at 316 in his career, a sub-3 ERA, and 7,300 innings, had 2,800 strikeouts, and like I said, a sub-3 ERA in his career. Here we go. Here we go. Minnesota Twins baseball on the show. Groundbreakers Twins here at the Metrodome. On the mound for the Twins is Kenta Maeda, who's no longer in the team in real life. 10-8 in 2019, 4 ERA, just over a 1 WHIP, just over a 4 ERA in 153 and 2/3 innings. He had a 10-8 record in 26 starts. Here's Jackie Robinson, who number 42 is retired for all 30 MLB teams. As you can see the retired numbers for the Twins up there, and the one farthest to the left is number 42 for Robinson. Here we go, a 1-2 count now to Jackie Robinson against Maeda. That's a ground ball to the other second baseman, Arise. Throw the first one down as Arise throws out Jackie Robinson. And here's the starting lineup for the Groundbreakers here at the Metrodome. It's Jackie Robinson, Minty Mantle, Babe Ruth, the DH, batting third, Ted Williams, Lou Darragh, Ernie Banks, Al Kaline, Johnny Bench, and Eddie Matthews. Now here's Minty Mantle, the center fielder. 1-1 count, the MM. And that's a line drive base hit for Mantle. First hit of the game. Now here's Babe Ruth. Four-seam, slider, circle change, curveball, and sinker for Maeda. And a ground ball. What a stop by Donaldson! And he actually caught it. 2 down. I thought he caught that. I thought he caught that on the bounce, but he actually caught it on the fly. I didn't die. The dame dove. I think Babe Ruth was in, or no, excuse me, Donaldson was in on third base, or was playing in because for a bunt, I guess maybe. And he just dove and caught it, and the dame dove on its own. But yeah, that's the best play I've seen in this game. One of the best, if not the best. I thought he caught it on the bounce, but he caught it on the fly. 2 down now for Ted Williams. That's foul, 2-2. Yeah, that's right. 2-2 now to Ted Williams. That's a ground ball to Arise. Throws it to Polanco, in and over. 1 hit, 1 left. 1 hit and 1 left for the Groundbreakers. Twins come in the bat, no score here at the Metrodome. You can see the 42 right there, and all the other Twins retired numbers up until when the Metrodome was torn down. Cy Young, I don't know why, it's 18 stars. That is in his last season in the lead. 7-9 record, supposedly, and it's almost 3.78 ERA, 1.31 WHIP. That says last year. I'm guessing that's his last year in the majors. That was his record and ERA. And he doesn't have a number, as you saw. On the back of his jersey, it just says Young, and there's no number. And now there's Kepler. 3-1 hitters count now. Shift is on. And that's a line drive, and that's going to get over Mantle's head all the way to the wall. That'll at least be 2, and that will be 2. Double. That's a bad throw, but it's a double anyways for Kepler to lead off the bottom of the first. Yeah, all the retired numbers are the retired numbers for the Twins up until the Metrodome was destroyed. Obviously, number 7 is now retired for Joe Mauer, but that was after the Metrodome was torn down. So right now the retired numbers are 3, 6, 14, 29, 34, and 42, of course, for Robinson. Here's a Rise. And it's a line drive, and it's caught by Ernie Banks. 1 down. That was kind of a muffin out there, but caught. Here's the Twin starting lineup. It's Matt Kepler, Luis Rise, Josh Donaldson, who's up right now, Nelson Cruz at DH, Eddie Rosario, Miguel Sano, Byron Buxton, Mitch Garver, and Jorge Polanco. Runner second, 1 out now for JD. 4-seam, 12-shits curve, a sweeping curve, a changeup, and a screwball for Cy Young. And that's a ground ball base hit, and they're going to stop the runner at third. As the throw home probably would have got him. The throw by Kaline. First and third, 1 out for Cruz, but he has about 20 speed, so he's definitely a double play candidate. Here we go. Double play would end the inning. And that's a line drive base hit for Cruz. RBI single for Cruz. The runner at third, which is Kepler, scores, and the Twins strike first here at the Metrodome. As the Twins strike first against the Groundbreakers. 1-0. As he smoked that 4-seam. Here's Eddie. That's a ground ball. That could be 2, 4, 6, 3, double play, in and over. But the Twins did a run on an RBI single by Nelson Cruz. And the 1-0 Twins. Here we go. 1-0 Minnesota. And here's Lou Darragh. 1-1. And that is 1-2. And here, excuse me, never mind. I don't know. Not mean to say that. 1-2. Foul ball in the center. I mean, this is basically a 99 overall team, hence why it's a Legends team. So, obviously, 1-0, it's probably not going to hold up. And that's a ground ball up the middle. A Rise. Good play. but he did not do a Jeter jump throw, so the runner is safe. Even if he did a Jeter jump throw, who knows if it was gonna be in time anyways. Now here's Ernie Bates, shortstop that played for the Cubs. That's a line driving in the corner. Now go all the way to the wall. That could score the runner from first, and it will not, as there's nobody out, and no reason to chance it. Second and third and nobody out. A single and then a double. Now it's K-line. 1-1, and that is low, 2-1, as I hit the zone but called the ball by the home plate umpire. My 8 is probably a what in the world? 2-1, and that is a strike, 2-2, as that was almost the same spot as the previous pitch, but 2-2, probably a makeup call. And that's a pop-up, fly ball, that could score the runner. Buxton has a cannon, and it's caught. Here comes the runner. Throw to the plate is just late, as that was a good throw, but the runner at third just had enough speed. 1-1 game. Both runners tagged there. Runner at third, 1 out, 1-1 game. And the infield is back. Matthews on deck. That's a ground ball, and the runner will stay put. You probably I was about to throw home, but obviously I saw the runner wasn't running. 2 down now for Matthews. Still 1-0. And that is outside, 2-1. That's a pop-up. And the Groundbreakers get 1. So that's all they did. Middle of 2. It's a 1-1 game. In the bottom 2, Miguel Sano. Then Sion. Shift is on. That is a ball. That is a strike, 2-2. Two and 2 now to Sano. And that's a fly ball, right center. Back is K-line, but it will stay in the yard. 1 down. Good play by K-line, as Mantle was there too, but K-line made the catch. Here's the defense for the Groundbreakers. It's Williams, Mantle, and K-line in the outfield. Darrell, Robinson, Baines, and Matthews in the infield, and Johnny Bench behind the plate. Johnny Bench is the dead catcher who played for the Reds. Here's Byron Buxton, the center fielder. 3-1 hitters count, and that is in there, full count. Full count. And that's a ground ball up the middle. Baines has got it, but Buxton is safe, as Buxton has 97 speed, the fastest runner on this roster. And now it's Garver the DH, who had a career year in 2019. Buxton goes. Can Bench throw him out? And he did. Johnny Bench gunned down Buxton, as I believe that was a strike, but Buxton is out as Bench threw him out. Robinson did the job he did in a tag down, and good call by the second base umpire. 2 down. Two 2-1. That's foul ball, 2-2. I had to swing and a miss on the screwball. And the 1-1 game here at the Metrodome. Here we go. And now here's, Robinson, but first I want to look at something. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, good thing we're in a dome because it says it's 59 degrees outside, but obviously we're inside. And the home plate umpire is Ed Drunham. I just wanted to know who was the home plate umpire, because I somewhat know what most umpire zone is. It is the umpires in the stand, which are fake umpires, fake names. They have different zones, and Ed Drunham, if I remember right, he has an inconsistent zone. So that's a good thing to know for later. 3-2, and that's a fly ball. right center, but Kepler is there. One down. The most consistent umpire in this game, I'm pretty sure, they say it for 2 umpires, Mike Fillmore and Dave Lawrence. And then for Ed Drunham, he's inconsistent. Sometimes he gives a few inches off the outside corner, inside corner, high and low. As you saw earlier for those 2 pitches, one was a ball, one was a strike, and they basically were in the same location. Here we go, here's Mantle. 1-1 count. And that's a line drive, but Rosario is there. Time to spare, 2 down. Now here's Babe Ruth, the DH. 0 for 1 with, I believe, a line out. And that's a foul ball in the center, 1-2. And that's a pop-up. As Ruth popped it up, caught by Darber. Middle of 3, 1-1 game. Here we go, 9-1-2 due up for the Twins. Polanco, Kepler, Arise. Full count. That's a ground ball past Matthews. Baines is there, but the throw is too late. As it was kind of a slow chopper, and Polanco beat it pretty much easily. Now here's Kepler, the leadoff man, who's still on the team in real life. That's a ground ball fair past Matthews. And stopping at second is Polanco. And first and second, nobody out now for Arise. Arise lined out in the first. That is low in the dirt as a screwball, but good block by Johnny Bench. He was a good blocker in his day. Hope I didn't jinx him. 2-2 count now to Arise. That's a ground ball. That could be 2, maybe. And he's out at second, but safe at first. Barely out at second. But they got 1. First and third, 1 out. Kepler's thrown out second. Now here's Donaldson. He's a double play candidate, only having 20 speed, maybe. 1-1 count. And it's popped up. Can Garrett get there? It's a long run, and he does get there. And now, oh, I thought it was thrown away. I was thrown to second base, but no one was covering. There was no runner there, so that's why they weren't covering. Now there's Cruz, had an RBI sin on his last at-bat. Needs a hit here. And it's a ground ball caught! What a catch by Robinson! As that was a line drive, not a ground ball, and Jackie Robinson made a great play. That's up there. Donaldson with a great play earlier. One of the best I've ever seen in this game. That one probably is a little bit better than Donaldson's, but that's the second diving catch I've seen in this game. And those 2 plays are 2 of the best plays I've ever seen here in this game. Here we go. It's end of 3, 1-1. Now top 4. 1-1 to Williams. Fly ball left center. Back is Rosario. And it's caught. But yeah, I mean, that diving catch by Robinson saved a run. Maybe 2. Because that might have scored the runner from first, too, if that got by him. That would have went all the way to the wall, most likely. But we'll never know, as Jackie caught it. Now here's Jared, base hit. Ernie Baines, foul ball, 1-2. That's a fly ball. A lot of fly balls in this game. And that is caught by Kepler. Now a throw behind the runner. Safe. 2 down. Now there's Taylor, had a sac fly to tie the game in the second. Now he's a 3-1 hitters count here. And it's a pop-up. And it's caught by Arise. Through 3.5. Groundbreakers 1, Twins 1. And now here is Rosario. Shift is on. And it's hit off the handle of the bat. That is foul. That might have been a triple. or at least a double if that was 5 feet to the right. So left fielder's all the way in left center. And this time, this is fair. And that's going to be at least 2. It goes all the way to the wall. And that will be a double for Eddie. Leadoff double for Rosario. Second leadoff double of this game for Minnesota. Last time they scored, that was Kepler in the first inning. And now here's Middy. Middy grounded one right into the camera well. And that's a swing and a miss on the sweeping curve. 1 down. As second strike out. First one was on that screwball. Now it's Buxton. That's a ground ball. Runner will advance. And Robinson throws him out. Runner at third, 2 outs now for Mitch Garver. Now Garver struck out on that screwball on his last at bat. Hit here would give the Twins the lead. Foul ball 1 and 2. Probably don't see the screw. I'm going to throw the screwball. See if I can hit it. And he did hit it, but foul. That was almost in the dirt. He also has a 12-6 curve, too. That's a swing and a miss on the 12-6 curve. End of 4, 1-1 game. 3 strikeouts for Cy Young, 2 on Garver. I mean, he has 3 curveballs, really. Screwball, which is almost like a curveball, and then sweeping curve and 12-6 curve. Here's Johnny Bench, then it's Matthews, then it's the top of the order, and Robinson. Ground ball to Arise. I was right about this game not holding at 1-0, but it's holding a little bit at 1-1. 1 down. Still half a game to go here. Top 5. And it's a pop-up, but that one gets to the seats. 60th pitch coming from Maeda. That's a fly ball. Left center. Rosario. Routine. 2 down. Now here's Jackie. 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. They have 4 hits, the Groundbreakers do, and 1 run. And it's a line drive, Sano, in and over. Halfway home here at the Metrodome. It's a 1-1 tie. (9-1-2) due up for Minnesota as we're officially in the second half of the game. 4.5 innings left in regulation. Tied at 1. Ground ball, and that will be a base hit. Leadoff single for Jorge. 1 on, nobody out for Kepler. Now it's a 3-1 hitters count. Double, single, and a run scored for Kepler. That might have been ball 4. And got him at second, and did not get him at first. Fielder's choice. That would have been close. And now there's Arise 0 for 2 with a line out and a fielder's choice. 1 on, 1 out for Arise. That's a fly ball, and it's falling fast. It'll dip down. And it is by the center fielder, and that'll allow Arise to get the second. As it fell in between the left fielder and center fielder, and Manzo couldn't cut it off. And then backing him up was Williams, but Manzo could not cut it off. And that allowed Arise to get the second. Kepler probably would have been at third either way, but it's a double for Arise. Now infield is back. 1-1 count to Donaldson. Second and third, 1 out. That's a ground ball. Kepler will score. Throw to first, got him. RBI ground out for Donaldson. Kepler scores from third. It's 2-1 Twins. And Arise is now at third for Cruz, who singled in their first run. Rise at third, 2 outs. That's a ground ball past Garrett. And this game is now 3-1 Twins. As Garrett just missed it. And that's going to be an E3. Cy Young, that's the pitcher right there, thought the inning was over, but instead it's an E3 on Garrett as he just whiffed on it. The run scores as the Arise scores from third. I'm not sure if that's an RBI or not. I doubt it is, but the run does score, and it's 3-1 Twins in the 5th. And that's a ground ball, and it's knocked down by Bates. And safe, no throw even. And that's an infield single for Rosario. Now it's Sano. Twins looking for more here. Sano 0 for 2. Ground ball, Bates would go to second, got him. So the Twins get 2 runs on an RBI ground out by Donaldson, and then they scored the second run on an error. End of 5. It's 3-1 Minnesota. Here we have 4 innings left. 3-1 Twins, but obviously the Groundbreakers, I mean, they only have 4 hits, but they could turn this game around just like that. Ground ball, that could be a hit. Arise charges, and he's safe at first. 73 speed, beat it out. Infield single for Mantle. Now it's Babe Ruth, who could tie it with 1 swing. And now the runner goes, and it's popped up to Donaldson. Retreating is Mantle. It's going to be a foul out. 1 down. As Donaldson was in for a possible bunt. I mean, he robbed Babe Ruth earlier. Ted Williams. Runner goes again. And it's a ground ball to Donaldson. 2 down. The runner's now at second. Now you have Lou Darrad, 2 for 2, but obviously that error by him caused a 3rd run to score for Minnesota. But a hit here could make it 3-2. That's a line drive base hit. And they're going to send him. Rosario's throw is up the line. And it's 3-2. As they sent him with 2 outs. And it's a 1-run game. RBI single for Lou Darrad. As he's trying to make up for that error. And he kind of did right there. It's 3-2. The runner at second, which was coming home, might have been out at the plate if the throw was not up the line. If the throw was on line, I think he had him. But it was up the line. Now it's Ernie Bates. Ground ball, and that's a base hit. 2 on, 2 out now for the Groundbreakers. Throw to first by Kepler is not in time. And now it's out K-line 0 for 1 with a sac fly. Hit could tie it. That's a ground ball. Doesn't hit the runner. And the inning is over. But an RBI single by Lou Darrad has cut the deficit to 1. We head to the 7th. Middle of 6th. 3-2 Twins. Here we go. 7-8-9. A 7-8-9 due up for the Twins in the bottom of the 6th. Buxton, Garver, Polanco. Ground ball to Robinson. And he throws it away, and it's out of play. As Robinson now has an error. 2nd error of the game for the Groundbreakers. Both have happened in the last 2 innings. It was Darrad last inning. Now Robinson, one of the best players in baseball, now throws it into his dugout. Almost takes off someone's head in the Groundbreakers dugout. And the runner did second base. Because he did 1 base. And he was already at first. So he got second. Runner at second, nobody out. And yeah, Darrad had an error in the 5th. Now Robinson has an error in the 6th. And this one's a throw-in error. And it went into the first base dugout. 3-1 hitters count. Swing and a miss on ball 4. Full count. And that was the screwball. That's another. Oh, that was ball 4 again on the 12-6 curve, but he fouled it back. Full count. Little tapper. Runner will advance. It's going to be a tough play for Cy Young. And he got him at first. Runner does advance, though. Runner at third, 1 out now for Polanco. He has 2 singles and 2 at bats. Infield is back. I'm gonna have him halfway if I can figure out how to do that. Yeah, halfway. So outfield straight up and normal, infield straight up and halfway. Runner at third and 1 out. Full count to Polanco. And that's a ground ball, and they're going to go home with it. And he is safe. Good tag by Buxton, or good slide by Buxton, excuse me, as Baines tried to go home to get the 97-speed runner, but a good slide by Buxton to get around the tag, and that'll be a fielder's choice for Polanco and an RBI. And now it's 4-2 Twins, 1 on, 1 out for Kepler. That's a ground ball off the pitcher's glove. And now a throw to first. Got him by half a step. 2 down, runner advances. Runner at second, 2 outs for Arise, who doubled and scored in his last at-bat. Twins scored 2 in the 5th, now 1 so far in the 6th. They're up by 2. That's a ground ball. Throw to first by Baines is in time, and the Twins only get 1. As that was on a fielder's choice, technically, by Polanco. We head to the 7th. It's 4-2 Minnesota. Here we go. The Twins have a two-run lead back. 3 innings left. 80th pitch coming from Maeda. Here's Johnny Bench. Line drive, base hit. Leadoff man on for the Groundbreakers. As I mean, obviously it's nowhere close to over, especially with the Legends team. I'll start warming up Trevor May in the Twins bullpen. And then no action in the other bullpen. Here we go. 1 on, nobody out for Eddie Matthews. Ground ball, that could be 2. Sits, 4-3, double play. 2 down, as Matthews is one of the slower runners on the roster. And it's double play. 2 down for Jackie Robinson. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Ground ball to Arise. And the inning is over. 7th inning stretch time here at the ballpark. Middle of 7, 4-2 in favor of the home team. Here we go. Bottom 7. It's Donaldson, Cruz, Rosario. Cy Young's about to throw his 94th pitch. Ground ball to Robinson. And he does not throw this one away. As that error by him in the last inning cost them a run. I mean, it would be tied right now if there wasn't those 2 errors. And now I'll start warming up Whitley Ford and then Raleigh Finders, their closer. What?
Whitey.
Oh, Whitey Ford. And then Raleigh Finders. I know they're down 4-2, but I'm going to warm up Raleigh Finders as well. Because just because he's a closer doesn't mean you have to put him in for a save situation. You can put him in at any time, even if you're losing. And some teams do that. Here we go. Full count now to Cy Young, or to Nelson Cruz, excuse me. And it's a ground ball to Darrod, and he will take it himself. This Cruz has 15 speed. 2 down here in the 7th. 99 pitches for Young. This is probably his last batter. This is pitch 101 for Cy Young against Rosario. Or pitch 101 in the game. Now it's foul ball. Here we go. 1-2. And that's a line drive. And now to get down. Good job to go and get that. That was a screwball. Down and in. And he went down and got it and hit it up the middle. Or hit it over the infielders in front of the outfielders for a single. And his energy's still in the green for Cy Young despite throwing 100 plus pitches. Probably because they did that back in the day. They don't really do that anymore. But I'm going to leave him in. Here's Sano. And that's a screwball and it's pounded! And that ball is gone! Off the football seats. 6-2 Minnesota. As Cy Young left the screwball up and Sano made him pay for it. Just over the wall in right center. Just over the wall in right center. Off the football seats. 2-run home run. 397 feet. 100 miles per hour off the bat. 6-2 Minnesota. As they're up by a grand slam here in the 7th. Yeah, that was a screwball. That was higher than the one Rosario hit. This one was just below center cut, and jumping for it was a center fielder, but it was 10 feet over his head off the football seats. The Vikings played at the Metrodome, so that's what those are. Those are football seats. And it's 6-2 Minnesota. And now they're going to bring in Whitey Ford. 5'10", 180, 32 years of age. Cy Young dips, giving up 6 runs and 6 2/3. He's in line for the loss. Now Ford's trying to clean up the mess. Foul ball, 1-2 to Buxton. That was only 88 miles an hour. 4-seam, slider, changeup, sinker, and a curveball for Ford. That's a ground ball, perfect base hit, and he might go 2. And he's gonna go 2. Throw to second by Mantle, safe. Double for Buxton. And the offense continues for Minnesota. I'm gonna have Trevor May schedule a pitch at the top of the 8th. Here we go, trying to keep the damage right where it is. 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Garver has 3 strikeouts. But a 2-run home run by Miguel Sano to right center field off the football seats. And because of that 2-run home run, the score is now 6-2 after 7 innings of play. That screwball, I think that hit by Rosario was the first hit that anyone had off of Cy Young on the screwball, and then Rosario had the single on the screwball, and then the next pitch, Sano had the home run off the screwball. And now here comes Trevor May. Here we go, top 8. 4-seam slider, 12-sit strip, and a changeup for May. 6-2 Twins. And it's a line drive, but right at Rosario. 1 down. As Manziel hit it, but right to Eddie. Even though they're up by 4, the Twins are. Sorry, they were going to show the final stats for Maeda, but the final stats for Maeda are 7 innings, 2 runs, and 8 hits, and he's in line for the win. And he threw, I think, like 90 pitches. That's what that would have said. And no walks, and I don't think he had any strikeouts, but he's in line for the win. Here's Babe Ruth, 0 for 3, and that's a ground ball, base hit for Ruth. And they're still within a grand slam. A grand slam would tie it. So they're still within striking distance. I'm going to start warming up. That's the wrong bullpen. I'm going to have Raleigh Finders pitch the bottom of the 8th. But I'll start warming up their closer, the Twins, Taylor Rogers. They're up by 4, which is not a safe situation, but still I'll have him warming up, and I'm going to have Tyler Duffy warming up as well. Here we go, and 1 on, 1 out for Ted Williams. Now Ruth is stealing, and it's a fly ball to Rosario, and Ruth is back to first. 2 down. Trying for a hit and run, but it's a fly ball right to Rosario. Now it's Lou Derrid, 3 for 3 with 3 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. 3-1 hitters count. Runner goes, and it's a ground ball where no one was. And going to third is Ruth, and he is in there. First and third, 2 outs now for the Groundbreakers. Hit it right where Polanco wasn't, because he was going to second, was covering second for the steal. Full count now to Ernie Bates. Runner at first will be in motion because full count, 2 outs. Here we go. Time runs on deck. And that's a fly ball, and they should get out of it. And the Twins are out of it. As the Groundbreakers strand first and third. Middle of 8, it's still 6-2, Minnesota. Here we go, and now here comes Raleigh Finders. They're a closer, but it's not a safe situation. 6'4", 195, 34 years of age, and a heck of a mustache. Slider, center slider, forkball, and a 4-seam for Finders. Here's Polanco. That's a ground ball to Matthews. 1 down. You're gonna have the bottom of the order, the bottom half of the order, come up in the 9th for the Groundbreakers. Here's Kepler. As double, single, and he had 2 runs scored. Yeah, you have 6, 7, 8, 9 due up. K-Line, Bench, and Matthews due up for the Groundbreakers. But if they did a few base runners, then you're gonna have the top of the order come up again. Here's Kepler. That's a line drive. It's hit well, and that ball is off the wall on the fly, and that will be a double for Kepler. His 2nd double of the game. 2nd double, 3rd hit for Kepler. That was just short of a home run. Here's a rise double and a run scored. That's a ground ball. Kepler will stay put. Tough play for Matthews, but he got him. Rise is 1 for 5, but he does have a double and a run scored. 2 down now for Donaldson, who was a single and an RBI. 2-2. That's a swing and a miss on the forked ball. And Donaldson throws his bat. But the Twins are up 4-0. The Twins are up 4 runs after 8 innings. They're 3 outs away from winning, but the Groundbreakers aren't dead yet. 6-2 Twins as we head to the 9th. Here we go. As I meant to put Rogers in, and I'm going to do that. It's not a safe situation, but I'm still going to put him in. Duffy will be ready and waiting. Rogers, here he comes. Play the music, final countdown, I guess. Yeah, play the final countdown. As the closer's coming in. Can't get the save one way or another, but he can try to get the win for the Twins. Center, slider, curveball for Rogers. K-line, bench, Matthews. Due up for the Groundbreakers. Ground ball off first base. And it just, I don't know why Rogers is not going and getting it, but the runner is safe. As I was Sano, and that would have been a ground ball right to Sano if that didn't hit first base. And then I tried to run to it with Sano. Rogers, who was controlled by the computer, just ran right by it. So that's an infield single. And now here's Johnny Bench. Now the runner goes. And it's a fly ball down the line. Is it fair? It is not. As it goes off the milk jug. Foul ball. That was close. I thought they had a chance at first. 1-2. And that's a pop-up. As the runner was in motion on the warning track. Sano's got it. Foul out for Bench. 1-on-1 out now for Matthews. I need 2 more base runners to bring the time run to the plate. And it's a ground ball to Donaldson. Throw to first is in time. Runner will advance as the runner was in motion. Runner at second, 2 outs now for Jackie Robinson. 0 for 4. And he needs to get on base here. And the next guy down on base too. As they're down to their final out. It's when the Groundbreakers are down to their final out and final strike. It's up to Jackie Robinson. And that's a fly ball foul. Right at that milk jug again. Just short of it. Here we go. Crowd of, what, 39,000, I guess, is on their feet here at the Metrodome. 2-2 count. And that's a fly ball, same spot, foul ball. It's basically the same spot. Fans on their feet again. 2-2 count still. And it's a ground ball, Sano. Takes it to the base. Twins win. The Minnesota Twins win it. 4-2. Or 6-2, excuse me. As the Twins win it 6-2 here at the Metrodome. There's a celebration by the outfielders. 6-2 is the final. As that Sano home run, obviously, even if you didn't hit that, they still would have won. But it was insurance as the Twins beat the Groundbreakers 6-2 here on their home field. Maeda got the win. Cy Young got the loss. There was no save because it was a 4-run game, but Rogers did close the door. And Maeda got the win. Cy Young got the loss. Twins win at 6-2 here at the Metrodome. So long from the Metrodome. Yeah, this is a good game. Very good game. I mean, Kepler, player of the game, 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, a single, and 2 runs scored. Sano had that 2-run home run. Rosario had a double and 2 singles and a run scored. Arise had a double and a run scored. And that's 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 of the runs scored, and then someone else scored the 6th run, and then the RBIs. I think, well, obviously there was that one, the one on the error by Derek, and I don't think there would be an RBI on that with 2 outs. But Maeda pitched 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Cy Young pitched 6 2/3, 12 hits, 3 strikeouts, but 6 earned runs. As he gave up all the runs. Because obviously Sano had that 2-run home run, and then after that he was pulled. 2 runs on 11 hits and 2 errors for the Groundbreakers, and then 6 runs on 14 hits, no errors for the Twins. The Twins scored 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 2 in the 7th, and then the Groundbreakers scored 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 6th. And then they had a chance in the 8th, 1st and 3rd and 2 outs, but there was a fly ball to end the inning. I'm going to show you the bot score. Robinson 0 for 5. Mantle went 2 for 4. Garrett went 4 for 4. And then you have Ruth 1 for 4. Williams 0 for 4. Banks 2 for 4. K-Line and Bench 1. Oh, K-Line 1 for 3 because he had a sacrifice bunt. No, he had a sacrifice fly. He didn't have a sacrifice bunt. He had a sacrifice fly, so he was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Bench 1 for 4. Matthews 0 for 4. Mantle and Garrett scored both runs for the Groundbreakers, and then Garrett and Taylor drove in those 2 runs. Baines had a double, and then the only double play for the Groundbreakers was by Matthews. Fielding, Jared and Robinson both had an error, and then Young sits in 2/3. Ford pitched the rest of the 7th, and then Finders pitched the 8th, and there was no 9th. And then on the other side, Kepler had 3 hits, Rise had 1. Everyone had a hit for the Twins except for Garver, who went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So he had the hat trick worth of strikeouts. He was the only Twins player that didn't get a hit. Kepler had 2 doubles, Rise had a double, Rosario and Buxton had a double, Sano had a homer. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there was only 5 RBIs because on that error that drove in the Twins' 3rd run, on the error by Jared, there was no RBI because there was 2 outs. Rosario had the only double play for the Twins, and then Buxton was caught stealing. Donaldson and Cruz and Polanco had an RBI. Sano had 2. And Maeda pitched 7 innings. May pitched 1, and Rogers pitched 1. So that's good. And then the Twins, Kepler scored 2 runs, Rise scored 1, Rosario, Sano, and Buxton scored the other 3. But yeah, this is a good game. I hope you enjoyed this game. As the Twins win at 6-4, I know a couple times I said 4-2. I just said 6-4. It was 6-2. As I said, the final score was 6-2. I know a few times I said 4-2, but the final score is 6-2. Sano's home run just put a little more insurance and a little more wiggle room for the Twins bullpen. And obviously they didn't need it, but just in case, Sano did it. Sano, I mean, obviously he didn't know if they needed the insurance or not at the time. But yeah, Sano did hit a homer. The only homer for either team in this game was by Sano to right center field, just over the wall by about 10-15 feet off the football seats in right center. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. As the Minnesota Twins beat the Mid-Century Groundbreakers 6-2 here at the Metrodome. If you hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Tell your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know, I'm going to see you in episode number, or really, I'm going to see you in the next video here on this channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Eat a lot of bacon, and go Twins.